Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to episode number 6 of the music theory course for guitarists. In today's video, we're going to be talking about rhythm and time and how that is just as important of an aspect of music as chords and scales. So let me start playing some sound for you. Okay, so we've got some kick drums playing in the background now. Alright, so these are playing at a consistent time apart from each other, and we're going to call these beats. Okay, this is the pulse of our music. Without this pulse, we'd be floating around in some random kind of timing and we wouldn't really know where we'd be going. Okay, so these beats are measured in what's called beats per minute. So however many times you hear one of these in a minute, that's how many beats per minute our song is going to be. Okay, or our piece of music, whatever. So when we speed up our song, the BPM, beats per minute, goes up, and when we slow the song down, we're gonna slow down the BPM and it's gonna be a lower BPM. At the moment, this is 120 BPM. This is quite a standard middle of the road tempo, and a tempo is the name for our speed. Now, we don't want to be playing these beats for eternity. We're gonna have to organize our music somewhat so that there's a beginning and an end, and we do this with what are called bars, and you might know them as also measures. They're the same thing. A bar or a measure is divided into a certain amount of beats, and for this particular example today, we're going to be dividing our bar into 4 beats. Now, when we measure the length of a bar or a measure, this is done with a fraction, and what this fraction tells us is our time signature, and the time signature is what allows us to know how long our particular bar is. Let's take a look at this fraction, and we'll take a look at the upper part of the fraction. So the top part of the fraction determines how many beats are going to be in our bar. And as I've already said, we're going to be playing 4 beats in our bar. Now, there are different types of notes that you can play, and these notes have different lengths. So let's take a look at the lengths of these different types of notes. So first of all, we've got whole notes, and whole notes are the length of 4 beats. Okay, so they're going to take up the entirety of our 4 beats in our bar. So let's take a listen to how a whole note sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So now we can move on to half notes. So half notes take up half the amount of a whole note, which means they take up 2 beats. So they sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you would need 2 of them to fill in our bar of 4. Now let's move on to quarter notes. So quarter notes take up 1 beat. Okay, so they sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the next division of note is an 8th note, and you can fit 2 of these into 1 beat, and it's called an 8th note because you can fit 8 of them into this particular bar. So they sound like that. And the final one we're going to look at is the 16th note. So the 16th note sounds like this. Very quick. The 16th note is a quarter of a beat in length, meaning that you can fit 16 of them into our bar. Now we're almost there with understanding how to read rhythms and time signatures. We've worked out what the top element of the fraction is, and now we've got to look at what the bottom element of the fraction is. We could have a 1 at the bottom of the fraction, so now we've got 4, 1. So as we already stated, the top lets us know how many beats there are in our bar, and the bottom part of the fraction is what type of beat we're going to be counting. So with our bar saying 4, 1, 1 means a whole note. So our bar is going to be 4 whole notes in length. So let's listen to what that would sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our bar would be that long. Now if there was a 2 on the bottom of our fraction, that would mean dropped my pick. That would mean that there would be 4 half notes in our bar, and that would be how long the bar would be. So let's take a look at how that, well, let's take a listen to how that would sound. So a bar of 4/2 would sound like that because we've got 4 of our half notes. Now the most common time signature you're going to come across is 4/4, and the 4 at the top meaning 4 beats and the 4 at the bottom meaning quarter notes, okay? And a quarter note is just the same length as one of these beats that you're hearing in the background now. So a bar of 4/4 would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. A bar of 4/8 with an 8 at the bottom would mean that our bar is 4 eighth notes in length. So our bar would be this long. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And a bar of 4/16 means that our bar would be 4/16 notes in length. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how quick that 4/16 bar would be. Now you can change the top number and you can change the bottom number as we've just shown. So let's change the top number to 5 now, and we're going to have the bottom number as 4. So our bar is 5/4. So that means we're going to play 5 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's try one more time signature, and we're going to try 7/8. So the top meaning the bar has 7 beats, and the 8 meaning those beats are going to be eighth notes. Our bar will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you know how to read time signatures and some aspects of rhythm. We'll move straight into the quiz so that you can see if you've really understood what I've talked about. Don't be afraid to rerun the video if you don't understand, or let me know in the comments if you didn't understand anything, because I'm more than happy to help. So in today's quiz, I've got 5 questions for you. Answers are in the description as usual. So question number 1 is, what is the name of the speed of the music? Question number 2, what is the musical term for the fraction that we use to tell us how long our bar is? Question number 3, what does the top section of the fraction represent? Question number 4, what does the bottom part of the fraction represent? And question number 5, how would we write this fraction if our bar was 5/8 notes in length? Answers are in the description. If you have any issues answering the questions, just rewatch the video and see if you can answer them afterwards. If you have any issues, let me know in the comments, as I said before, because I will definitely be up for helping you. So if you enjoyed this video, like the video, subscribe to my channel for more videos, because there's 2 more videos in this series, I believe, and let me know how you get on with it all in the comments. I will see you in the next video.